Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Darkest Dungeon. It is an interesting thought that at the beginning of launching this app, it reminds you that this game is about making the best of a bad situation and that you can always get more characters at the uh, traveling caravan. But when you have a notice that is basically spelling out how you should play the whole game in a few short sentences, it would make a lot more sense for that to pop up fairly frequently here
My obsession caused this great foulness,
when you're
and it is
loading
shameful that
instead
I
of
must
at the
rely upon
beginning
you
of the
to set it
game,
right.
because it's very possible, particularly for PC gamers, to not actually exit out of the app at all. Like it's pretty easy to alt tab and leave a program running on PC, and even consoles now are really in a very different position than they used to be as far as whether apps actually load at the beginning or not. We are definitely moving away from the idea of having main menus and load screens, and instead just having suspend states. I really would like to take on this siren, and I may not really have a choice. This is probably the first long run we've ever seen, and I can't imagine how you'd survive in the long run. So yeah, it would either be explore 90% of the rooms and make more progress in the ruins, or go risky and take on a medium here. Let's look at what we've got as a team here. We've got our men-at-arms, who could be in the first couple of spaces. We have our abomination, who can be here. We have, well, I guess if we do take the abomination, he does have a lot of stress on him, so we may not want to do that. We have this character, who could be here. This one has far too much stress to be considered. Let's see. This one maybe makes an argument in a different direction, and this guy's got to go. So we need a back row character. So let's see if we can make this work. Back row attacks on that character doesn't make sense. Back row attacks on this character doesn't quite make sense. So yeah, I think what we've got here is a situation where it doesn't work. We need to build somebody else up, and so we need to just take a short run somewhere else instead. Alright. Do we have any items? Brawlers. Gloves. Overture box. Plus this. Plus 25% damage if in the first one. What is his damage? His base damage right now? 6 and 7? You take that? And then I guess the thought might be to do something like this. Or maybe even consider somebody else. This is taking a healer with us by taking this path. And it's probably not too terrible of an idea to just say, hey, let's use some of these other items if they're not going to really hurt you. A lot of these items though do hurt you. And none of these first 4 character items are equipable, because those are all different character classes. Alright, so we take the short instead, and we just live with it. While it would have been nice to go the other direction. I know when I'm beaten. I still kind of do feel like right now the torches are being underused. Let's see. And there is a building that if we upgrade it, it would cost kind of a lot, but not too much to potentially increase the value of the torches. If all of a sudden you need to buy 4 torches instead of 8 or 10 of them
out the halls
in
of
a
your
run,
lineage once familiar, now foreign,
then that would save you in the long run. Yeah, it's probably easiest to just go ahead and take on this side room. Now, if I recall correctly, it's the estate that tends to have the torches burn out pretty fast, but we'll see how this goes. Like, we may have a pretty strong team in this group, even if a couple of them are kind of lower level characters. And with that, that may prove to work fairly well. What attack was that? I definitely wasn't expecting that attack.
press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
I guess I use this character to heal more often than actually do to attack.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
So his
them
back
all.
area attack there may lose some value, and he may end up just healing himself anyways.
Be gone, fiend.
It definitely feels like if the max level is 6 of for characters, and then you get 3 of your characters up to a max level, that you would then run into this potentially weird situation where as you do extra runs to level up, just like the one character in the back, you may very well create a weird situation where you're adding negative effects to 3 of your top tier, like level 6 characters, while trying to level up via resolve and skill your
fiend falls,
your last character. And it may very well just kind of never balance out. Or not balance out in a way that quite makes a lot of sense. It definitely feels like you very possibly, in your final run against the Darkest Dungeon, will get level 4, maybe even level 6 characters from the tavern who have never even fought, and they will be as good, if not better, than any characters that you've leveled up. I almost would like to see what a speed run of this game would look like if it really would be a case where you could take the first starting group of people all the way to the end, or if it isn't very much a situation where you're just constantly having
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Yeah, I could see it also being more of a case where you just kind of have to play with the randomness and the roguelike nature of this game. Because the roguelite, L-I-G-H-T, aspects of this game, which are the idea of progress carrying over, are fairly limited to just improving your state and the experience of your characters.
Art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Whereas a true roguelike game would have no evolution there. Forsaken Confession Booth. Let's see what Holy Water does to that. That gave me a lot of, I guess, health, but not really that much health. Let's see what the scouting leads to. Okay. So if I was to go this way, and then use like a bandage on that, or use a shovel on that, or use medicine on that. That was a lot. I guess you have to go all the way through. You can't change your mind. Interesting. I really thought the point of scouting was to potentially say, hey, if I see a curio, let me go grab that curio and then back out and not go any further to the fight. But fairly obviously that is not the case.
Cleansed from our lands.
And fighting these little maggots is going to be laughably easily. So I guess that's just another example of this game not really being even as strategic as you might think. Alright, back this way. And then we have to walk through the same hallway, gaining stress and burning things. And they try to redo the hallway in such a way that it is the same items and looks the same, so it's not magically changing on you. Let's see. Small holy thing. We're going to put a torch there that does nothing. Let's just search it. We get a buff. And again, even though this might feel like it's slightly a challenge, I think this is actually going to be pretty easy. He's got a decent amount of health, so I couldn't kill him in one turn. You get a decent amount of stress from that. That's why you would want to kill this character first.
A victory.
That guy's down.
Perhaps the turning point.
And that reduces the stress down, so we're down to like 1 stress. Like none of these guys really are at a high level of stress at all. I'll need to remind myself to move the characters back into their proper position. It's one guy dead and the other guy is stunned, which I guess just gives me another opportunity to heal. I don't know if I'm really getting a ton of
Remind yourself that overconfidence
resources
is a
here.
slow and insidious killer.
I think you're getting some, certainly, but it's hardly like we're at 2,000 or 3,000 gold. This guy's stress is much higher than the others because of the fact that he is at a lower resolve level. And if anything, I think that really highlights how we may start to be, we might right be on the edge of the snowball effect that I expect or want to see, where we start to run into characters that are leveled up and powerful enough that we can at least survive the short runs and potentially consider the medium runs. I don't think we can do the long runs. I don't think we can do anything that requires level 3s. A level 3 short run maybe is an option, but that would really be pushing it. Kill that one. And heal.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And if anything, I probably won't get around to healing this other character. Or maybe I will.
A momentary abatement.
Although it doesn't really work very well on that character, because he resists it. Is something about the occultist unholiness of it. One of his traits resists that. But again, you're only getting like 100 gold.
Mount,
And then some other items that will sell for more gold. I was premature and walking to the edge is unnecessary. Let's go this way. We are going to have to just make a full trek back.
Watch your step.
Empty crate. Empty room. Room with battle with Curio. There be anything here that would work with that? No, I think anytime you see a stack of books, that's probably the right move.
Even the cold stone seems bent on
To
preventing
just
passage.
investigate the books. Another buff. Yeah, and unless we find that there's just like a crazy enemy in this room, not really expecting too much.
Executed with impunity.
These spiders have become close to one-hit kills. This character always moves forward. I keep forgetting that this character moves forward when it does its attack. Attack with that one. Stun it. Good. Yeah, him getting that extra stun ability worked way better than I suspected it would have. And he got 13 heal, and that's still really not enough. So, the idea of this being a healer works, but he would need to level up so he heals more. This one's down to 0 stress, this one's at 41 stress, this one's at 77 stress. Go ahead and heal himself, I guess. Like his total life is 22, where this is 37,
victory,
30, 24.
But a victory nonetheless.
Okay. I am now a ruins tactician. Great. So now you have to run all the way back, and you would like there to be some way to shortcut that, even if it was a special ability. The next room we go to would be the last room we would need to go to. So if stress became a big deal,
The match is struck.
we could
A
flee
blazing star is born.
and still succeed. Okay. This one should click on this, and I had hoped we had medicine, but we don't. Bandage won't do anything. And so that didn't work out as well as I had hoped it would have. If I had used medicine there, it almost certainly would have led to a nice reward.
A powerful blow.
Let's go ahead and make sure that one's dead. Kill that one in one hit. And these guys can't even hit him. So my dodge is high. That does probably give a hint that at some point you might start grinding low-level dungeons so well that you have a team of 4 that just has a dodge that is impenetrable, and so they just never take any damage at all.
Seize this momentum.
And that could
Push on to
turn
the task's end.
to the game being very boring, certainly, if you are going through an entire dungeons without taking a single hit. But I think that also would work fairly nicely.
A menace of unconscionable alienage.
Okay. So. Weakening curse, I guess, on this one. Puncture. So we've got another one of these super strong characters. 5 accuracy, 4% crit, 15% damage when guarded. We'll just move this guy forward. This really might be a run worth a fight worth fleeing from. Alright.
Soothed. Sedated.
I guess the real question here is just we need these characters to move back. And there's really just nothing we can do until these characters move back. And I just don't know if I can get back into the appropriate order. I'm hardly stunning this guy that much. Right. Heal that. Right, this one can attack now. Move forward. And by doing that, this one did move forward again. Right, so we're getting better. Stress is getting higher. Certainly this guy's about to lose it. Okay. Heal this guy, I think is the best move for that character. Move forward, I guess.
Self-preservation is paramount at any cost.
So it's starting to fall apart.
The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
And it's fairly obvious. This was just a thing that would not have happened had I not done that first level at the farmstead. Like, it totally would not have happened. Okay, heal this guy. So, really, turning on the Farmstead DLC hurts you. Doing the Farmstead, even if you have the DLC turned on, hurts you. All to get you Stardust, which, in some small amount, is helpful, but not in enough of an amount. We're halfway through this fight, but we're also struggling heavily to maintain or improve our situation. Move forward.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Death's door. Abusive. Maybe I should just run at this point. Otherwise I'm gonna lose my whole team.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
You know what? I say we run. Like, losing this team is not worth it. This is a good team of good people. This guy's stress is too high. He has 2 actions remaining, which that sounds bad too.
No chance for egress. Will this be a massacre?
And maybe I should have run away.
This skirmish
earlier.
may be lost, but the battle may yet be won.
Let's get out of here.
The shifted corridors and sloped walls of our ancestry are
It
beginning to
definitely
feel
wasn't worth
familiar.
15 Stardust or so to lose one of those characters. I do wish I'd start to get more rewards, some kind of multiplier on the number of crests and busts and things. Up in Resolve, we have several characters. Weapon Tinkerer, which honestly, minus 20% weapon upgrade cost may not really be worth keeping. Because you don't upgrade your weapons that often. It's not like it's just a
obsession
number you
caused
can
this great foulness,
continuously
and it is
increase.
shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
Okay. This level 3 character now, where is his stress at? 41. I think he can only do this one. And I think I've just been waiting to do that. And Scott, on the other hand, needs something else. So he could pray. Or you could drink. Who else do we have that has a lot of stress? This guy. Ooh. And then that one's got too much stress. And that one's got too much stress, and we just got a lot of people with a lot of stress. So it definitely is getting to the point where we should try to upgrade the number of these slots. But it's not like I have a ton of money either, so after a run like that, things went badly, but definitely not as badly as it could have gone. So I can't really complain that much. I almost certainly made the right call. And let's see. Even though we do have resources here, it seems like none of them are high enough to do anything. Okay. Get rid of a disease. And then one of our characters is just straight up missing. I'm sure in the storyline it told us why, but I wasn't paying attention. Would it make sense to try and get rid of something? Like being angsty? No. Angsty really is the one you want to get rid of as a trait. If we're going to try and get rid of any traits, or lock in any positive traits. But I really can't afford any of that. Might be able to upgrade this. Is that literally the only option I have, though? Is that either I upgrade the survivalist, or I upgrade nothing? Because I think it probably would be better to upgrade nothing at that point. If we do get 200 of these crests, and we have 43 of them right now, then idle stress relief in town is increased by 10 per week. Or we wait till we get to 300 and then torchlight becomes more beneficial. And I think that's what we do. So let's just hop into the next run. We are now at level 3, which I don't know if that means anything really. Here we have a long apprentice 1, which would have 2 resting things. Probably not what you want to do. Then a bunch of mediums, and then 1 short, so we have to take the short. That's the only thing that makes sense. And you definitely wouldn't take on this medium. Okay. So let's assemble our team. This guy can't be on our team. This guy wants to be here. There's a lot of stressed characters still. This one potentially there. So it's gonna be either take some people with high stress with you in this run, or take some 0 characters with us, which I guess we're possibly just taking 0 characters. Okay. And then I guess if we're gonna start that way, we should see what items we've got on characters. This guy probably hasn't even been on 1 run. So stun, increase, debuff resistance, -2 dodge. Like a back character probably could reduce its dodge. more than a front character. Okay, and then honestly, for a lot of these short runs, I probably don't need to be buying 8 food. Just go with 4 and save money that way. And then we'll stick with 8 torches. And then I think 2 shovels still is pretty safe, and 1 is safe there. Holy water. We don't need an extra holy water. Anti-venom, bandages. Just take 1 of everything and go. You can see it's telling you to get at least 8 food, though, so I'm only following what the game itself is telling me to do, even though I kind of feel like you can get away with just 4 food. Maybe there's a thought here that some players
fish is
would
almost unbearable.
wander around backwards and forwards in the dungeon a lot more than is reasonable to assume. Like, I just don't think people playing this type of game are gonna be that dumb that they would wander around.
Otherworldly corruption.
And see, honestly, if I had no shovel, I would just flee at this point. If the very first hallway has something blocking your path. I'm trying to play a game on my cell phone while also playing this game, which is definitely not what you would call efficient.
Curious is the trap maker's art. His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
And you kind of know that you're going to be in a fight if you can't click on the item, the torch, when you're walking through a area. This run may be a little bit more difficult. And at a certain level, this may very well just be a support run where...
decisive pummeling.
Wow, that did a lot. This may be just a support run to get gold, to let the A team reduce its stress.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Everybody's moved around.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
But I still think this is going to work fairly well. And this run could be easy unless we run into a really difficult enemy. Special enemy. Okay. Just try to move the characters back into position. This Hellion is doing massive amounts of damage to 2 or 3 spots.
Press this advantage. Give
So this
them no
character
quarter.
is just like really good.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Put everybody back. If we go up here, we need to explore 90% of the room, so we just need to go up here, go around, and see what we can do with that. Blanketed in barnacles. That does nothing. I thought the bandages worked on barnacles, but maybe it was the shovel works on barnacles. Of course, if we have a lot of low-level characters, maybe that is why they are moving around so much, is that they're getting surprised and knocked around in position when they really shouldn't be.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
This breakthrough attack, and I just want to use it every single time.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I may very well have just put these
Seize
characters
this
in the wrong
momentum.
position.
Push on to the task's end.
And see, the fact that I could light that up and nothing happened tells me that it wasn't going to be a fight. We now know that there's a trap here, so ignoring that trap is actually a great move. So we can go down this way, go down, and if we want to go back to this room, we can avoid the trap path and avoid any risk of hitting the trap path. I wonder if it might just be wiser to not open these barnacle chests at all. They don't seem like they're doing anything as far as rewards very often. This still feels very silly, I have to admit. It is just very odd that half of your gameplay mechanic here really boils down to walking from the left to the right of the screen. Well, that is the way a lot of games work. Usually there's a lot more action in a side-scrolling game to balance out walking from the left side of the screen. If you consider, like, Super Mario Bros. 1 is walking from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. There's also a lot of running, jumping, timing happening there. A lot of action. It's not just slowly holding down
On the brink,
left
facing
control
the
stick.
abyss. A death denied. For now.
He healed him. Interesting. You don't see that very often.
The ground quakes.
Totally missed. This guy could definitely use some better accuracy. Or maybe I should be using a different attack.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
See what the accuracy here is. Accuracy base 85, accuracy base 90, 95. But yeah, the only one that could possibly hit this guy is the one with the low accuracy. And that's not a ridiculously low accuracy.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Damage and speed buff. Heal. Attack. But to get this guy's health up higher,
These nightmarish creatures can
I could
be
give him
felled.
some
They
food,
can
but
be beaten.
their ability to eat food is pretty low. Like I eat food, I get 1 health in that. That's kind of ridiculously low. So I guess there is a possibility here we die, because it just goes really badly for me, and I just have a character, 2 characters that take a lot of damage. Yeah, and I'm starting to run out of things to say, certainly. Just, I guess, heal this guy again. Just keep on attacking. Well, that did not work nicely.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
It does definitely feel like I would need to do something more. Like, really focus in on clearing out a couple more rooms. And I just don't know if I'm going to get that lucky to clear out a couple of rooms without killing somebody. This is, I guess, a point where finding firewood and being able to rest at a fireplace, even in the short run, as an extra thing, would maybe make some sense.
Confusion, nerves, and panic.
We're running out of room. And it doesn't have to say it's locked further. There'd be a secret compartment, we're learning. Which, that's nice to know. So we get to this last room, and then I think we flee. You don't take on this battle. If we have to do one more room, we go this way, and we take on this hall battle. Yeah. And our hopes, I guess, are just high that we don't accidentally run into a trap or run into stress. one of these should work. Okay, that was the right move. Disarming reduced stress. Okay. So room battle or room. We go to room. So we just have to get through this hallway battle. And we should succeed. That's probably not that hard. They're surprised. We've got a good attack. Let's go ahead and try and kill the debuffer as quickly as possible. Smite or heal. A crit of 2.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
They missed in both their attacks. That was nice. Let's see. This one that has an accuracy base of 95, I'm going to attack with that. Heal. A crit of 4. That guy exploded and did a massive amount of damage. Let's see, accuracy base 90, critical plus 5, accuracy base damage mod 5. Accuracy base 100, damage mod 100. Yeah, this is the best one to stick to.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Do we have food? Yes. So we take our strongest character to avoid hopefully any traps. There shouldn't be any other fight. We'll use a shovel on this.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
We don't even really need to use a torch in here. So we've got a lot of extra stuff that should sell back for some amount. As far as just resources, we went very well prepared. Maybe we still do need about 10 torches. I'll grant you that, but
despite its morbid
not really.
aspect, this twisted, cavernous maze seems almost traversable.
Giving us a whole lot more crests. So really, I guess if I just keep on this path for another potential 3 hours, I'll have that 200 crest that I would want. But that does really highlight a issue, I would say, with this game, is that it may really be asking way too much of the player. Too much time investment.
Drumming will see to that.
Reverie, debaucherous and decadent in the extreme severe nomadic warriors has wandered into the hamlet in search of a glorious death. We can only hope they find it quickly. So, possibly a buff for those characters. 97 stress removed, 57 stress, 81 stress, 69 with stress, 56 with stress, disease cured. This one actually, 2 diseases being removed because I had a small chance of that. So as this activity log gets longer, the chances of that being a good thing get higher, or good things happening in general. Right, we still really can't upgrade anything there. Still can't really upgrade anything there. Can we upgrade anything here? No. Who is our most stressed out characters? Still. This guy can't do it. This guy can do it, so we'll set him there. This guy's already in there. So this one won't do anything either. That one won't do anything. These other characters' stress levels are too low for me to possibly consider doing anything with them. No upgrade for the sanitarium. But there is a possibility of thinking about maybe getting rid of a quirk. Like love interest. It's probably a little too expensive to get rid of, though. Only we'll seek out the brothel. Wouldn't it make more sense just to use the brothel? See, I don't think this character has hysterical blindness, so we could get rid of that if his stress was too high. Which maybe it is. Okay. The other option would have been to potentially try and take out Sky Taint. But his stress is not that high. But weirdly, still really don't have enough resources to upgrade anything. And maybe that is just because we are not pushing it and not doing the medium length runs. Increasing the number of trinkets or reducing the cost of trinkets by 10%. This is what sucks, is you really want to do this.
And curios. Sold at a profit, of course.
Like, that was my hope, is that upgrading this would have potentially said something different than just reducing the price by another 10%. And that wasn't the case, so if I could undo that, I would. Yeah, it definitely does feel like if I was to spend resources on this, that would be a really good weapon. But if I was looking for an abomination only weapon, I bet there is something here otherwise that would be better. If not, then I guess there might be an argument to do this. But a lot of these items still seem to have some negative effects at them also. So, like this man-at-arms shield probably is a decent offer. 20% healing received if medicinal herbs are in the inventory. That might be something. But yeah, I guess we are just waiting. Waiting to get 300 of these. And I could potentially see like 3 crystals getting converted into 2 of those is not worth it. 2 crests being converted in, or 2 busk being converted into 3. So I could get like 14 crystals now from that. Let's just see what the number really would be. 14 plus 9 would be 23, plus 9, I guess, would be 32. Yeah, unless I just wanted to turn all the crystal shards into crests and really speed this up. We really wouldn't be too far from at least 200 crests that way to build one building, and maybe you don't get another blueprint until you spend 1 blueprint, making torchlights more beneficial. That, although it says more beneficial, that doesn't inherently mean that it will last longer. It could mean that it just gives you a plus experience. Okay. So this guy wants to be at the front. Position 1. Let's go ahead and get rid of everybody else. This guy is still missing. He's gambling, I think. This one wants to be at the back. This one could be here. This one could be here. And that creates kind of a weird mix here where we have a couple of characters that are level 2 and a couple of characters that are level 3. 20% blight, bleed, but then you get diseases instead. This one's a musketeer. Only item, so we can equip that. I don't think there's really a good reason to equip anything else. Alright, so we could go with a medium on this run. We could even go with a long. Complete 100% of the room battles and see what a long looks like. Or we could go with a medium to kill a necromancer or printers. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. Give this a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 2 of these. 1 of these. I guess money is going to be a bigger issue. Here. Let's see. Take a medicine. Take a holy water. Take maybe another shovel. Take another bandage. Take another key. I don't have to spend all the money. Certainly. But I want to be kind of prepared here.
Mastery over life and death was chief among my early pursuits.
So this is a real storyline
but my ambition
challenge.
was limitless.
So we've been
Who could
just
have
avoiding
divined the
these
prophetic
up until
import
this
of
point.
something as unremarkable as a twitch in the leg of a dead rat.
And it starts to make a little bit more sense why you would click to continue if you're going to get these audio logs on storyline missions. But interesting, you're going to potentially avoid them for quite a while.
Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
Right. Ideally here, we are just scouting for him. So, room battle, hallway battle. I guess if we did run into him fairly quickly, that's the end of the run, and we might just call it at that point, because I suspect that battle is going to be a tough battle. It would be a little shocking if all of a sudden it if it led to a very quick and easy battle.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Kill that one in one shot. We still aren't getting a lot of level 1 characters from the caravan. So there definitely is an argument to
disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
To upgrading that more. I guess there is no stat where a character has a higher chance of finding something. Interesting, I was able to use the torch there, even though I did go into a fight, so I guess what I was saying earlier was wrong. Even though that definitely seemed like that was the case. Maybe it's a little bit more random than I think. Or maybe it just boils down to who has the first move.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I suspect this isn't a situation where you need to use a key in a chest or use 3 keys in a chest to unlock a chest first and foremost before you can fight the boss. Because if it was a situation like that, then you'd have to have 3 keys, special keys that can't be used in anything else. This does, however, really feel like a chest that very specifically has a desire that you use 3 keys on it. And starting with 3 keys is a pretty high request.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Ornate sarcophagus, it's locked. We use 1 key.
If only treasure could staunch
not
the flow.
A bunch.
Otherworldly corruption.
Okay. We are here. We're going here. Characters I don't feel like move around. Right. That has nothing. That did nothing. That did nothing. Seriously.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
So I just used
for
like
in
3
blood.
items. Just because I didn't realize what the right item was or remember what the right item is. If we would have put a bust or like a torch there. Yeah. Go ahead and use the blight. Plague Doctor is pretty much the only character that uses blight attacks. However, so it definitely feels like there should have been
Another one falls.
an attack that many characters could have, just like a basic blight dealing attack that any character could use.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
But there really is not a lot of variety
Executed with impunity.
in the types of attacks a character can have.
Seize
My
this
inventory is
momentum.
already
Push on
too
to the
full.
task's end.
And I just don't see any value in going forward with a room that doesn't have a battle in it. It would be weird if it turned out that the hallway battle has the necromancy apprentice. It may also be a case though that you have to go through the entire map before the guy will appear, and if that was the case, then they really should have made that better known,
Begone, fiend.
because if I have to walk all the way through the map to get back to the beginning, that probably would cause too much stress. And I guess stress is the one thing we're going to keep an eye out for here, is just we don't want a situation where the characters are about to die of a heart attack.
Ghoulish horrors.
Alright,
Brought low and driven into the mud.
375, 250. Shift click to discard. 150 gold. Have to find my keyboard where I put it last. Yeah, I guess we shift click that and you take that and you hope that's all the right move. Cabinet, but it's locked. Alright. Alright. So how much is are 4 crests worth? Almost certainly worth more than, say, 250 gold. So I'll take that. And this may just be a great example of being overly prepared and bringing too much resources with me. Oops. Or it just may be that we're getting a lot of resources.
For a task well performed.
And it doesn't really feel like you're ever going to upgrade this level. Like, you're never really going to upgrade how much you can hold. Yes, try this attack first instead of doing the blight. That's probably a mistake, but none of these characters are debuffers.
Back to the pit. Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
I'd almost like to be able to,
the path is clear.
like,
We require only the
send
strength to follow it.
somebody back, lose a team member to send all the contents of your resources back to the surface, or this time I definitely do want to use my blight attack. But that would be a crazy trade-off. It would almost never be the right move. One down. Stun another. Two down. Three down. Do we have any characters that could heal? I don't know if I have a healed character, and the only character that really needs to be healed is the gunner in the background.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay. So, like, unless there was something more with the stacks of gold, I think we just lose the torch to take that gold. Just with the family sigil, it was trapped. Now I have a room with curio. Let's make sure everybody's in the right position. We could do a rest, and probably should do a rest. Come to think of it. If we got rid of the fire pit, that would give us one more room. When you click on that pack, you actually don't have enough room for anything anyways. Alright, so this is 350. This is 2 times 375. Holy water is value 15 gold each. So if I was to use the holy water and buff and then take the gold, that's not the worst trade-off. Yeah, we more and more are running out of things to say as far as these fights, though. It really is just boiling down into a kind of generic grind. And that puts me in a weird position as a video game critic, because since this is the majority of what the gameplay is, and that it's not moving in and out of these kinds of fights very fast. You are spending 2, 3 to 5 minutes for each fight. I am increasingly running into situations where there's a potential 5-minute period where I could really just go silent and say nothing. The variety of these characters is unimpressive, to say the least.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
More resources. Alright. So we're jumping around here, but potentially we're going to have to go back all the way through here, back to this room. This is one of the games, now that I think about it, that I actively tried not to learn anything about. And I recall seeing a sequence quite like this with the same background and then stopping the video, the YouTube video. Secret rooms. A critical scouting success will sometime reveal a secret room. Advance to the title marked with a star, or press W or click enter. Fabulous wealth and riches await those equipped with a key. I don't have a key. Room battle with the treasure. Which one is the one marked with a star, though? Room boss. Room with battle. Secret door. Okay. So we go this way. Just because we're grinding, I guess. I mean, really, there isn't a good reason to do this at all. I should have just camped and then taken on the boss. Yeah, that was dumb. Like, there's basically nothing in this room that's gonna turn out to be a wise use of being in this fight. Yeah, best case scenario, I win in one turn without taking any damage at all. Worst case scenario, it adds stress to me. I mean, it could potentially reduce stress. Yes, that is a possibility, but it's hardly a guarantee. If this gave me a key, that would be great. But if it gave me a key, I'd have to get rid of, like, the bandage, which isn't a big loss, really, to make room for the key.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Alright. None of these guys are bleeding. So them using a bandage doesn't make sense. I guess we can possibly take this now.
Easy companionship.
And we can just leave that victory up, but yeah, I don't think we will. We'll instead shift click and take that instead. They can just have a feast for all I care. Significantly reduce their stress. And then 2 speed all companions as a buff, I think is great. Remove a blight. Heal 20%. Remove bleeding. Do any of these characters actually have a blight on them? Or is blight even the same as a disease? This guy has a disease, so maybe removing a blight would get rid of that disease if I did it. Heal 50% HP for 1 companion. I don't even know if I really need to do that, though. Let's see. Nope, that only worked on him. Oops. Plus 4 speed for the quickening. 25% damage. These other ones would only okay. And so everybody can just heal, and then we can get all these little pop-ups that really don't mean much.
The darkness holds much worse than mere trickery.
And we have an ambush there. But will that really matter? I don't think so.
Well struck.
Let's see. Just bellow at them and debuff them. That's probably the best move. I guess you don't get a default heal just when you're asleep or camp. Or you just don't get a default full heal.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
We just have far too much resources. So something as far as the factor of stacking needs to happen. Like, darn it. I was not expecting a surprise attack. And I didn't get the characters back in their proper positions. The bellow attack is noticeably something that's a more impactful sound effect than most attack sounds. So I'm not sure you'd want to use it that often. Stress, again, could be a big issue, particularly for this character. I guess you bellow again? There's just such a high penalty for not doing anything, when honestly, in most games like this, if you were going to...
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
If you were going to have a situation where you could not act in a specific turn, they usually let you build up a defense or or build up an action point to use in the next turn. It doesn't typically punish you by adding stress because you're just being inactive. Right. Medicine on that ends up with giving us some more gold. Once again, yeah, the amount of gold stacking has to be something that goes up. It just doesn't make any sense. But then oddly, this is the first run we've ever had where it's been a problem.
Fierce, terrible, nightmare-made material.
Buff target 20% damage, 3 speed. Let's see. Attack here, do 6. That is a tiny amount of health. How much health does this guy have? 105. Ooh, we could be in trouble here. But maybe not, because if we can do 12 damage here and there, and this guy doesn't do a lot of damage to us, that was a massive amount of stress, certainly. If he can necromance characters,
masterfully executed.
I wonder if we have to actually kill his assistive characters or not. Like, this is not turning out particularly well for the necromancer. He is down to 30 out of 105. And we're getting crits, and now we've got bleed. It's just like all those buffs and all that camping paid off. And he may not even be able to attack.
Sinew to actuate them. Will these walking bones finally fail?
Alright. So, this is 125 gold, so we definitely sell that. And then this is only worth 250. Where these other things aren't worth as much. Let's go with that. Take that. And we're safe enough here to go ahead and just see if we can get to the secret room. I don't think we need to search the entire dungeon, and we gotta keep an eye on our stress level certainly, but I think we're in a pretty decent space.
The light, the promise of safety.
Eat nothing, take 20% damage plus stress. That is a lot. And then I guess we just can't click on that secret door. We would need a key. You know what? I suspect this may not be a hallway that's even connected. And there's a room battle there, so I should consider just running. We've got a whole another battle. that we're just about to run into. We've been doing so well on these battles, though. But you're not going to get anything from them. That's the other problem.
Obliterated.
But we do also have buffs for the next 4 battles, and we've just done... This would be our 2nd battle. Or maybe 3rd battle. You would think I would know the number.
This expedition at least promises success.
1350 versus selling this for... This means you should sell that and take that gold. We are just gonna have a ridiculous amount of gold. At some point here I could have also gotten rid of the torches. If hunger pops up again, that would be a big deal. Journal entry. 1 more torch left. It definitely is not worth it, though, to run to the other area. Back to that one room we skipped. And my hope here is that we get something a little bit more unexpected and bigger as a reward than just a massive amount of gold. Massive amount of gold's is nothing to shake a stick at, certainly, but if all of a sudden the estate evolves and we get better attackers and we are now capable of doing something more.
A trifling victory. But a victory nonetheless.
So we have one that is worth 1,250 compared to, let's see. I don't know if I really want to get rid of items. We can just get rid of this though. Take that ruby. Honestly, we should get rid of the shovels. Yeah, and unless this turned into a real big mistake, I think we've got it. So a stunned, bleeding character, now dead. We're getting less audio feedback, and I wonder if that's because we're just doing so well, or because every line of dialogue has just been said before in this run. I imagine we'll get back to having more comments spoken when we do the next run. I would just be utterly shocked if something happened here that caused this to go bad. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy gets an attack out, but I would be surprised if he kills somebody. Deeds and gold. And again, 250. So at this point we'll just toss those and take the deeds. Leave the gold. And I'm wondering if we can work our way back here.
A fortune waiting
Holy
to be
water
spent.
we can use. And we can't carry that. So I guess you'd want to walk back this way. Yeah, if like a single trap here, we just got an achievement for probably getting trapped multiple times. Our light is going down. Okay. So it seems to me like this secret room here, secret door, requires you to have a key on you, which is just more of a reason to always have a key on you. I could wander around here and try and get these two curios, but I'm out of lights. Our inventory has been overfull for a very long time here. We accomplished our goal. Let's take that reward. Another achievement for accomplishing that goal. 13,750 plus a whole bunch of busts and a whole bunch of crests. Plus a whole bunch of resolve. Thick-blooded replacing Daredevil, Vertigo, Compulsive, and Unquiet Mind, replacing Egomania. And a lot of level 3 characters here that still would need a lot more resolve to get to level 4. It does seem like you pretty much need twice as much XP to get from level 3 to level 4, probably level 4 to 5. And so it's probably going to take a lot longer to get characters to the max level 6 than it seems. Empty kegs are ironically the most vocal concerning the current death of spirits, and Mead are the same patrons whose unrestrained exuberance the night before exhausted the supply. Bar is locked. Gambling costs minus 50%. Brothel costs minus 50%. Good to know. Do we have a level 1 character here? No. Could we increase the number of patrons? No. The bar is locked. That doesn't mean everything is locked, however. So, we sort by stress. This guy doesn't have anything that would stop him from self-flagellating, which means we should consider some of these other characters that have love interest. Like the bounty hunter, I guess, has slightly more stress. So off to the brothel he goes. I couldn't have upgraded that, could I? No. Off that one goes. Can't upgrade any of this, can I? Increase the number of slots to 2. It's
man
probably
in a
worth
robe,
it.
claiming communion with the divine. Madness.
So, yeah, slowly we'll upgrade the Abbey. But we couldn't have upgraded anything there. Got quite a collection of people that have kind of high stress. Can't upgrade anything here. Is anybody diseased? Or otherwise in need of removing a stat since we have characters? Yeah, just get rid of love interest on that character. It's probably not a bad idea. None of these, I think, have diseases, though. This is the only guy that has a disease, which upgrading the number of patient cells probably isn't worth it at that point. As long as we can keep people from being diseased going forward, and then there's just nothing else to upgrade. Training camping skills with all this money kind of makes some sense, but oddly, gold is highlighting here that there's really just not a lot of value in having gold as much as you would think, at least, because once you have all of your characters upgraded in their weapons and upgraded in their skills, your gold really only leads to provisions. This guy can't even upgrade because he has to be at level 1. Which I guess that is an aspect that I hadn't even really thought about, is that there would be potential characters that have to go through one run before you could even do anything for them. And yeah, you can't really upgrade, I bet, anything else. You could throw money away, certainly, to try and upgrade attacks. But that's not really the goal here, is to throw money away. The goal is just to potentially know what should be upgraded and what shouldn't, and be relatively cheap about it. Yeah, and upgrading all of this is slowly reducing my gold down back to 5,000. But like, the only other thing I could have done is potentially just buy an item, and I question really the value in that either. So we could increase the number of trinkets, and that at some point, eventually, I guess you'll just have so many trinkets available for purchase that trinkets wouldn't even matter. They would just be a default thing. Let's see if we have... I guess we don't have in the antiquarian or grave robber. We should think about that. Bounty hunter, highwayman. Should have one of those. We oddly have 2 hound masters. Sort by class redistriction. Right, here we have a bounty hunter. A bounty hunter item, only item. Man at war items. All full. Abomination items. Musketeer items. Bounty hunter items. Our ballot. Shield. Breaker. Crusader. Hellion. Hound Master. Abomination. Leper. Occultist. Hound Master. And Jester. Which means we do have a Crusader here. So yeah. 2 of the same thing, however, won't work. Can you put it on top of each other? Yes, but it won't upgrade into anything doing it that way. So that's kind of funny that you can't stack things, and that does make an argument to potentially sell it for money. But let's just say no for now and just hold on to it. So a flagellist, a highwayman, and a grave robber, and the antiquarian. Can we get any of those characters from the tavern? Stagecoach? No. I could get another Crusader, though, if there was real value in that. So then the question comes down to, should we go crazy here and try and get 300 crests? Like, this trade-off would give me 86 crests, which would get me up to 132, plus then 3 crests plus that would be 12 to 132, which would be 146, plus 12 crests there. So yeah, I think you get to about 150 right now if you were to try and trade things out like that. So that's not wise. It's definitely not a wise thing to do. What if we were to increase this? See if we get an achievement for fully upgrading that. No. But there might be an achievement for fully upgrading this. So I think you stick with that pattern and that path. And yeah, it is way cheaper now. Much more reasonable if you were going to buy something. The prices have not seemingly gone down here, nor have the options as far as what you can buy with the dust changed in any way. I wouldn't be surprised if you only get one of these per save file, or if it just respawns, and you can buy multiples of these, but there aren't any other things you can buy with the crest. Now, notably, what didn't change here is our state does not feel any better off.
In time, you will know
than it
the
was
tragic
before.
extent of my failings.
So we started part 1 as far as this necromancy path, which is just one of many Ancestor's path storylines that we were supposed to do, but you can kind of tell that there's multiples of these, and the rest of this is DLC. And honestly, I'm not sure if under the Ancestor's path some of these enemies are also DLC characters. There may very well be a case, if you didn't buy any of the DLC, that there would be either 0 or just 1 or 2 sub-bosses under this. And we probably got some more journals, but it's pretty impossible to really tell because it's not giving you a full count. We didn't get a blueprint. We didn't get anything that would feel like a reward to make any of this cheaper. You know, I guess this wouldn't be too bad. It's really not that expensive to get a performance hall, and maybe just getting one of these done would be wise. Although, still probably would be way better to just save up and do this. Yeah, and even though we had a ton of gold, it really wasn't that much. See, like, gym inventory stacking increased by 1. No longer suffer from random hunger checks. How do we get this resource? That's the real question. Because this resource here seems to be something random you have to get. And same is seemingly true for this resource here. Maybe these are only things you get from the farmer's district, since I've avoided doing that. And there definitely, I guess, is an argument to trying that again. If I could get the bank to save interest on saved gold, that would be interesting. I don't know if that really helps you much, though. Get you to like 25,000. Hmm. 60 busts. Food for free. And almost certainly districts are DLC extra stuff that you wouldn't have had in the main game. Let's just check here and see if anything changed. Not really. So you have like a medium apprentice level 1 here to kill Siren. And then you have a medium veteran 3. And seemingly nothing else has changed. Farmstead medium is not really doable. Medium apprentice level 1s are somewhat doable. But we are potentially going to run into situations where it would still be very nice to have a couple of short apprentice run 1 runs. The size of a medium run versus a short run is not really that different. Yeah, we still haven't really done anything as far as defeating or even trying the darkest dungeon. Alright. Let's go back here. So yeah, we are continuously making progress. Our characters are continuously leveling up. As long as we don't kill them with stress or kill them in some other way, they're doing well by us. So there might really be a snowball effect here. On the other hand, there's a good chance there really isn't a snowball effect, and we are potentially 10 hours at this point, I would say, if I was just to guess a number. We're probably 10 hours into this game, and there might be another 20-30 hours minimum required. We have 31 of 120 achievements, and the achievements have come pretty quick, so we might be a third of the way through the game. Yeah, that might be right, but we might not. And specifically for this kind of game, we might be a third of the way through the game, and then we might run into a whole bunch of trouble and lose all of our characters, and nothing would really save us if that happened. It would just be start over again, start grinding again, and leveling up the characters. Anyways, we've gone 2 hours. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.